American Mom. This week we're starting our whole new schedule, and if you can notice, I have a cheap little set on my tight little budget for what we're going to be watching. So if you look at the very top, we have a foresty tree. It's a Christmas tree, but it's a foresty tree, okay? That represents Lost, because there's a bunch of woods in the forest. You get that. Look at the moth at the top. That was one of my favorite episodes so far, is Charlie kicking drugs. And the moth came out of the cocoon. And so I got the moth up there. And then, of course, Charlie plays the guitar. I think he's my favorite character. I don't want anything to happen to him. Mary. Charlie. So that's Lost. The skeleton is American Horror Story. That's it. That's all I needed. There's some money and a little money clip right there by the skeleton. That stands for The Sopranos right now. Yeah, that covers that. My Game of Thrones, of course, that's not going to start back up for a while, but it deserves its own shelf. So that's my stuff staying there. We've got some handcuffs down at the bottom. Right there. That's going to stand for True Detective. Okay? And then I've got a little Winnie the Pooh set with a little clock thing that doesn't even work anymore. It was one of my daughters. That's for Once Upon a Time. And then, of course, when Stranger Things happens, which will be around Halloween, that's where the Christmas lights come into play. I don't have the multicolored lights like Joyce used. I don't buy multicolored Christmas lights. It's just a personal preference. I just don't. I just like clear lights. So that represents my shows. And for The Walking Dead, how could I forget? You can't even see it. It's my bat. See this bat? It's a little plastic bat. But I'm going to get my husband to get some barbed wire and wrap it around there. He's out of town this week. But when he gets back into town, he's going to wrap some barbed wire around that sucker. And that's Lucille. I didn't know what else to get. I didn't want to like bring a gun or, a knife or something dangerous. Yeah. So that'll be wrapped up soon. And then that's all the shows. Kind of proud of myself, even though it is tat. Sorry. Okay, so again, if you're not sure of my schedule, go back to the video, probably right before this one in the uploads, that says Mom's New Schedule. Stranger Things, I don't know how I'm going to mix that into the schedule just yet, but I will. All right. I'm ready for the next episode of Lost. I hope y'all are. I'm excited about this new schedule, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to get started, so let's do this.
Where's Charlie?
What?
Where's Charlie?
You went after Claire.
I don't want anything to happen to Charlie. Where's this joke coming from? Is he with Danielle?
You're asking the wrong question, not how. Why?
You think it was Ethan?
It certainly feels like it was Ethan, doesn't it?
Call it, Jack.
It's his dad.
It's over. Call it.
You call it.
He and his dad did not get along. Even though he's doing what his dad wanted him to do, I guess, but...
She told me that your hands were shaking.
My hands were not...
You cut her hepatic artery.
She was in a car crash, Jack. Her insides were a mess.
You made a mistake.
They called me.
I don't care whether or not they called you. You made a mistake.
Are you lecturing me? You tell me, if you were upstairs and I was in a restaurant having lunch, then why did they call me?
How many drinks did you have at lunch, Dad?
Oh, shit. That's why his hands were shaking.
But for everything that I know about hunting and tracking, whoever he is, he knows more. If we catch up with him, I don't want anything to happen to the only trained physician on the island, so go
That's
back.
true.
Be the doctor. Let me be the hunter.
Can we go now?
Follow me.
He just won't say no or give up.
He knows a lot more than how to catch a boar. Mr. Locke's a warrior. He can hunt, he can track stuff, and he's the only one who brought knives. So if it were me, I'd listen to him.
What's Michael have to prove? I want to know their backstory.
We mark our progress by line of sight. Tie these off so we don't get lost.
What's going on?
His dad fucked him up.
I didn't believe her. Claire, I gave her a sedative.
you can't.
She told me someone was after her, that she was being attacked.
Yeah. I hope they're okay. There's the A.
They went this way.
I'm not so sure. There's another trail here.
What do you mean another?
These are footprints. People moved off this way.
So we've got two trails. Let's split up. I'll take that one.
No, we should stay together, Jack.
Why? We've got two trails and apparently two trackers.
Be careful.
I think that's the dummy trail as well, and I think they need to follow the footprints.
A box company?
They made boxes.
Yeah, but what did you do before that? Something
right.
else behind that.
Please slow down.
But a patient was brought to the ER following a car accident, rushed into surgery with massive internal bleeding. You joined me, and in spite of our most heroic efforts, the patient succumbed to her injuries.
To lie.
Looks like you fixed everything but the patient. You had no business being in OR.
You really think I would have walked in there if I couldn't handle it?
You've done it before.
That's right, I have, because I am perfectly capable of making
How
those
can you say that after what happened
The
yesterday?
problem is not...
You were impaired.
They'll strip me of my license.
Oh God, is this what happened between them?
Yes. They will.
That's what happened. He's not gonna do it.
This is not just about my career, Jack. It's my life.
He won't sign it. And then his dad goes rogue and he's in Australia and... Right? Okay.
Thank you, son. Thank you.
I was taken prisoner by the French woman.
One has been sending out a distress signal for 16 years. She's alive.
She was on a science expedition. She said they shipwrecked.
I need a 4-3.
Early.
Do would you please roll?
Yes!
No!
Your turn.
Watch it. Oh, I thought he was gonna blow on him.
You owe me $20,000.
You'll get it.
$20,000. Let's see. Where's your dog?
I guess we were right. Where to now?
What was that? That's Claire's scream. There he is.
If you do not stop following me, I will kill one of them. Do you understand?
You were aware of the patient's pregnancy when you went into the procedure.
Absolutely. The patient's husband had informed the attending in the ER. It was, however, extremely early in the pregnancy, so our primary focus had to be on the mother.
I didn't come into the OR until well into the procedure.
Jack.
I was warned by one of the nurses that my father was operating under the influence.
Jack, this is
By
not
the time
the
I got there, it was clear that my father was not only incapacitated, but that he had also severed the patient's hepatic artery, which, in my professional opinion, caused the crisis which led to her death.
He had to do the right thing, though. No. Is he dead? No. Is he dead?
You gotta cut him down.
Okay, it's a bunch of vines. Maybe he just passed out. Shit. Don't give up, Jack. Don't stop. What happens?
No. No.
Jack! Jack!
Come on!
Stop!
Come on! Come on!
So angry. Is this real?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just breathe.
God.
Just breathe. Just breathe deep. Breathe deep.
Oh, he didn't stop. Where is she? Does she die? Does the baby die?
Does that hurt? Charlie,
He's traumatized.
you gotta talk to me. We're gonna go back out and look for Claire the moment the sun comes up. That's all they wanted. They, I don't, all they wanted was Claire.
Because of her baby. What was that? Underground.
What is that?
We're underground.
Steel.
Okay. That was a good episode, but I gotta see the next one right away, which is perfect that I see these episodes back to back now. Because it left on a cliffhanger. Usually it kind of ties it up just like a little bit. But this one is like, what's under the ground? Like, is it like a hatch? Remember the lady, Danielle, when she had Saeed, and she lifted something up, they were underneath the ground. So is she in something like that? And why did this psychic send her on this plane if he knew the baby was dangerous or that danger was around this baby? Now she's being taken, and that's all they wanted, is what Charlie said. They want Claire. Well, she has a baby. What's that about? We got to find out where this Ethan Joker is and who else he's with. Whew, he knocked the crap out of Jack. Oh, God, y'all, I thought Charlie was gone. I really did. I was like, he'll come back. Jack's going to keep doing it. And then when they both just kind of walked away from his body, it was sinking in. And I was like, really? I just made this little shrine of Lost for Charlie. I like other characters on the show. I like Mr. Locke. I like Jack. Hurley's funny. I love Charlie right now. And I thought Charlie's going to die. Jack didn't give up, though. He just kept pounding. Okay. There's a lot of flashbacks about Jack and his dad. Now I'm getting another piece of the puzzle from the first backstory we got of Jack and his dad, of why his dad just, I don't know why he ended up in Australia, but he took off and then basically drank himself to death. So he was let go by the hospital. There was a huge lawsuit involved. A woman died, and she was pregnant. Jack was very surprised. If she was pregnant, then that's two deaths instead of just one. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what went through his mind. But yeah, that was sad, because then during the deposition or whatever, I mean, he had signed it, but he just couldn't live with himself. I mean, that's just not Jack. But his dad brought that on himself. You cannot be in that kind of, you can't do anything and be drunk, but you can't be a surgeon. Please. Oh my gosh. You just start doing breathalyzers on doctors nowadays? Yeah, I don't even know what this episode was called, to be honest. Because we saw a little bit of everybody. We saw Saeed, we saw Sawyer, we saw the father and son, we saw Locke, we saw this brother and sister, we saw Kate, Jack, Charlie, and we just didn't see Claire, but it was about them two. So the Korean couple weren't in this episode. That's basically it. We just, like, everybody was in it, and so, but yeah, I'm anxious to get into the very next episode, which will be up tomorrow, to see what happens, because I think Locke's onto something. I just hope that Locke and what's his name? His sister's the brat, the snooty brat. Her name's Shannon. What's his name? The brother. I hope him and Mr. Locke don't get captured now, and then there's another search party for them. This was a good episode. My heart dropped for, about a minute and a half. Wasn't fun, but it was a good episode. Thank you for watching this with me, and until the next video and the next time. Bye.